Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're talking about the found footage movie, Hell House LLC, which was our patron pick. And we had a lot of good suggestions. Shockingly, we had not a lot of mainstream suggestions.
Yeah, no Blair Witch Project at all.
I definitely thought that was going to come through.
Or Paranormal Activity.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Crazy.
Anyway, so that's not what you wanted. That's not what the people wanted.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just surprised.
Yeah. It's just surprising. So that's what we're going to be talking about. But before we get into all that, Felicia, what are you drinking?
Okay, so I do have a nice, very beautiful big glass of water, but I am going to do for both of us, because Tawny does not feel like drinking this evening. Yes. And she'll tell you why. But I have a shot here of tequila.
Nice.
I even have the salt and the lime. And the reason is a little mini celebration because Tuesday is our podcast anniversary. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. 3 years that Tawny and I have been sharing horror movies with all of you. So
that's insane.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Let's do. Okay. I'll cheers with my water.
Holy shit. I got pepper. That's not going to work. Okay, so we're not going to do the salt because I grabbed the pepper, which looks exactly like the salt. That's fine. That's fine. I'm a baller. I'm just going to do it straight with a little lime. That's all right.
Yeah, you got it.
So happy anniversary, Tawny.
Happy anniversary.
I adore you, and I hope this is like 20 more years of this.
Yes, so, agreed.
Cheers. Yes.
That is very funny to me. You had the pepper.
Thank God pepper's black. Because that would have been gross if I licked it first. But yeah. Okay. So now that I'm done with that, I'm drinking water. How about you, Tawny?
Nice. I am also drinking water. Just water. Because I, too, did tequila shots yesterday at our housewarming party that we finally had. And it was a fucking blast. Had a handful of people over. And yeah, just had a lot of drinks, obviously. So today, definitely hungover. And not so much anymore because it's late in the day. Thank God. Felicia's so flexible. Because I'm like, I'm about half dead. Can we wait? Can we push this back? So here we are. We'll have to do another celebratory thing maybe next episode. Maybe not even a drink. I don't know. I want to do something for it. I was thinking about switching up the theme. I don't know. We could talk about that later, but.
Ooh, you threw a lot at me that last minute.
I know. That's okay. We'll just put a pin in it.
We're going to do it. So we'll celebrate our anniversary then the whole month of July. Even though our anniversary is in June, we'll do it all for July since it's the end of June.
And is that 3 years from the day that we uploaded our first episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So not from when we first met or when we first decided to do the podcast or when we first recorded. It's our first upload.
It's our first posting. For some reason, I always think about it being in July instead of June.
I think every year, I bet if we go back to our last episode, we say the exact same thing. And then I question myself. So it's going to take forever because we have, 562 posts. That's not too much. But as we talk, I'm going to scroll on my Instagram and see when we posted our very first thing.
We should be able to see it on Buzzsprout easier, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was
scrolling.
Only at freaking the Sixth Sense at this point, I think. Okay, so let me just make sure. I always welcome a tequila shot, though, so even if I'm wrong, that's all right. Because I love myself a tequila shot now. Everyone might not know, but this is my new found Love is tequila. June 27th, 2020 is when we uploaded Two Chicks and a Horror Flick episode 1.
Wow. Okay.
So that's just when we chit-chatted about the podcast.
Yes.
And then on July 1st is when we did Hereditary.
Oh,
so
okay.
maybe that's what you're thinking about. It was our first movie review.
Yeah.
Was
I
in
think that's
July.
why I maybe have mixed it up.
But
Because it felt like we didn't actually kick off until, you know.
I feel like the kickoff, though, is that, hi, this is who we are, and this
That's
is
true.
what we're going to do. And I want to honor that because I think we were so nervous about it that
Yeah.
I think it was a great thing that we said, screw it, here we go. This is us. Join the ride or don't.
Yeah.
We hope you do. We'll see.
God, and yeah, I can't believe it's been 3 years. It actually doesn't feel like that long.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. 3 years. We're very lucky that we started in 2020 because it's very easy to calculate our anniversary.
True. Yes. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
that's us.
Well, cool. Yay for us.
All right. So what
yeah.
have I been up to?
Yes. Tell me.
Okay. I said
Life
that
updates.
like really excited, but really, I just watched a lot of shows. So I felt good about it because I have stuff to tell. Well, first of all, I'm 100 pages away from finishing A Flicker in the Dark. And this book, one night I was at page 70 and I read until 1:30 in the morning and got to page 200 and something. I don't
Holy
remember what
shit.
it was. So now I'm 100 pages away. I really do like it. It's a fun thriller, like kind of murder mystery book. And I'm enjoying that a lot. But what I did.
love that. I
Yeah.
love when you get like,
Oh,
just totally sucked into a book like that.
yeah. And I love, yeah, I agree. When you
Okay,
just
sorry.
can't put it down. No.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't put it down. And then I was about to say something. I'm like, should I? And whatever. Now I have to. And like, you know, when we all go through these emotional ups and downs, right? And I noticed like when I'm feeling a little more down, books, and this has been through my whole life, even when I was young, I love escaping into a book. And I think I consume more books even when I'm kind of in that funk because I just get lost in the story. But it's so wonderful when a story makes you not want to put it down. I literally stopped reading that morning because my little book light burnt out.
Okay. Nice.
So I had to stop reading. But anyways, super excited. I'll let you know. Obviously, you have to get to the end because the end could ruin it all or
Yeah.
but what I've watched, me and Steve binged all of the new season of Black Mirror.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, it's fun, I have to say, because typically they're very disturbing. I would say for this one, they're more comical. There is one with, and I'm so sorry if he hears this episode. First of all, if he hears this episode, I'm going to lose my mind. But the guy, he plays Jesse in Breaking Bad. And I'm so...
Oh, Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul, thank you. You saved us because he might hear this and go, fuck you. I'm not Jesse. I'm Aaron Paul. Anyways, his was so good. And it was intense. But the other ones were more, there was some comical elements. We really enjoyed it. So we watched that together.
That's interesting to know because I've kind of been avoiding it because it is like typically very dark and I don't always I have to be in a very specific mood, I think, to like want to seek out those types of things. But I've kind of shied away. But I keep seeing clips of the one with what's her name?
Selma
Alexis.
Hayek? Oh,
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah. The one with Alexis from Schitt's Creek. I don't remember her name either. But she's like a cheerleader or something.
That's who that is.
Yeah.
She's not a cheerleader. That's the one with Selma Hayek.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes, it's the very first one, and it's funny and it's interesting. So definitely don't shy away from that one. The second one, I would say...
I was like, what kind of chaotic? Like, I have no idea what is happening.
It's so much fun. Definitely watch it. The second one, And I think it's like the fourth or fifth one the second one and the third one. The third one's with Aaron Paul. They're a little more intense. I wouldn't say super dark, but they are intense. And then they get comedic again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. We'll have to check this out.
Yeah, definitely watch it. I'm so curious what you think about the first one. It totally drew us in. And so even Steve was like, oh, I got to watch more. That was fun.
Okay.
All right. So Black Mirror. Then I took all the kids to see Elementals. And guys, it's so cute. It was such a sweet message. It was really sweet. My kids are in this phase of like, they dress up to go to the movies. Like, I guess they're dressing up as Barbies to go to the Barbie movie. Yeah. So we dressed up in color. We were colors of the elements.
Oh, cute. Okay.
Yeah. So really, 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 really cute movie. And then I watched on, did I tell you I'm watching Silo, by the way, with my oldest?
I don't think you did, but I saw on Instagram that you posted about it. Yeah.
Very into this. I really like it. Ooh, so interesting. So I don't remember Silo.
I feel like I watched a trailer or something for it. This is the one on Apple TV, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So good. Like all these people are underground and supposedly it's not safe to go outside. But is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Really good. And the last thing I'll share with you, I watched it yesterday, just randomly in the afternoon. I'm like, I have nothing to do. I'm going to watch Gone in the Dark. Nope. Gone in the Night. It's called Gone in the Night. It is on... Oh, shoot. It's with Winona Ryder. And I believe it is...
Is this a movie or a TV show?
It is a movie. It is a movie on Hulu with Winona Ryder and Dermot Mulroney. I just recognized him. I thought... I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
That's where I'm at with that.
Okay. That sounds like a middle of the road review there.
I enjoyed it. And, there's that. And that's about it. Like, if you watch it, it's not a waste of time. The acting was good and it was an interesting story. I'm really on this kick, even with my books, of I don't want to guess. Like, I want to be surprised. Yeah. And there's a very clear moment in that particular movie where I was like, oh, that's what's happening. About halfway through, and then I had this conversation with Steve, just curious, because writing a book where I want people to be surprised. And I'm really like watching all of these things in books and in movies. And I was like, I wonder if the writer, the filmmaker wanted us to know at this point, oh, this is what's happening, or didn't, but it was kind of like maybe a miss in the sense where it could have been a little more not in our faces. So I don't know, obviously, because I don't know the person who created the show, but so it was good. But I think with that, I was like, oh, this is what's happening from this. So I wasn't surprised for the second half of it. So,
yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's me the past week. How about you?
That's okay. Yeah, that's a lot. I still haven't done a whole lot. A lot of this week was prepping for our housewarming party. There was a lot of work to be done, like cleaning up the yard and getting groceries and like, I don't know. It just was like a whole thing.
What did you eat? What did you drink? What did you serve? What was it like?
Yeah. So we did like tacos because we had made these like shredded beef tacos a few weeks ago, Jade and I, and we were like, shit, this is really good. So I was like, I'm going to make that again because it's easy. You just put it in the crock pot all day. So shredded beef tacos with like this bean salad that we make also for tacos. It's like beans, black beans, corn, cotija cheese, lime juice, and avocado. And it's just like a nice little topping that you can like throw on the tacos. And then we obviously had like chips and salsa and stuff. So it was good. A lot of prep work.
Nice. And tequila. It was nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely some tequila. I was going to try to make, because Jay and I went to this place close to us like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and they had like a coconut margarita. Ooh. And it was so good. So I was like, I want to make this. So we looked at the ingredients and tried to go buy all of the ingredients. And I tried to make it but I should have tried before people showed up because then everybody was there and I'm like trying to make this margarita and it was like not working. And so I just abandoned it. I just like walked away and was like, well, whatever. We'll just do shots of tequila, I guess. Anyway, but that's maybe still on the docket because it seems like a nice summer drink, you know?
Yeah.
A coconut marg.
That sounds real good.
Yeah, kind of refreshing was my goal. But yes, very nice, very fun. It did rain on us a little bit, which was kind of a bummer, but it stopped after a little bit. So it was good. Aside from that, though, I have been continuing to read the book that you gave me. I think I'm like 50% through.
Okay.
It's kind of like a bigger book, though. I think it's got to be like 400-ish pages, maybe. So making my way through. And then the only things that I've been watching is The Great with Jade, you know, the newest season.
Oh, yeah.
And which is so good. Fucking love that show. We sing its praises all the time. You guys know. Just watch it. And then Paige watched this horror movie that I did watch that I don't think I brought this up last time. And I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right because it is a Spanish.
You definitely didn't bring this up last time.
Okay, cool. I think it's called Huesera or Huesera.
Ooh,
maybe
that sounded like sexier.
Wait, Huesera.
Ooh, yeah.
Is that? I don't know. I don't know if that's right.
I like it though.
Huesera, and it's like the second part of the title is The Bone Woman.
Ooh, okay.
And this was like very fucking good, dude. Like we need to watch and talk about this one because it was. Paige has been telling me to watch it for a while, and finally, I was like, when Jade was out of town, I was like, all right, I'll just check this out, and it was so good. But
really?
That's all I'll say. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And I was like, dude, you undersold this, and she was like, I just didn't want to hype it up and have you like you go in with too high of expectations. I was like, bro.
Yeah, because sometimes you say that on episodes. Like maybe we went in with too high of expectations and it ruined it for me.
Yeah. And so I think that's wise because I got to have those expectations lowered. But that's it. That's all for me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
There was just one more thing I want to mention. I forgot to mention this. I've been listening to this podcast because I'm on the search for a true crime podcast that I would love to team with. So we do a movie on true crime and they say the true crime story and we do the movie. I know you guys have heard this on some episode or maybe not. So anyways, I've been listening to a lot of true crime podcasts and I was listening to True Crime and Cocktails. And that is a lot of fun. So I just wanted to holler them out because not that they need my holler. They have like 30,000+ followers, but
okay.
They don't need me to holler them out, but I wanted to because they were a lot of fun to listen to. Yeah, it's a really good podcast. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Should we get into the details of this movie?
We should.
Okay. So, like we said, we're talking about Hell House LLC from 2015. So this movie was directed and written by Stephen Cognetti. Also hope I'm saying that right. For cast, we have Gore Abrams as Paul O'Keefe. I just did the main group of people because there is a lot of people. But then we have Danny Bellini as Alex Taylor, Jared Hacker as Tony Prescott, Adam Schneider as Andrew McNamara. Okay, I questioned myself. I was like, wait a minute. But they call him Mac, don't they?
Maybe.
I think they call him Mac. And so that's why I was like, wait, did I grab the wrong name? Anyway, then we have Ryan Jennifer Jones, who plays Sarah Havel. And that's our main Hell House crew people. So for scores, IMDb gave this a 6.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, a 75%. 84% of Google users liked this, and then Letterboxd gave it a 3.1 out of 5. And this beat out the one movie it came down to. So we actually had a tie. So we went back to Instagram to do a tiebreaker, and it was between this and The Houses That October Built, which I have not seen that movie, but I had seen this. You have not seen this though, right, Felicia?
Correct.
Okay. Just checking in. I couldn't find any budget numbers or box office numbers. I don't even know if it went to, I don't even think it had like a theatrical release. I think it was distributed probably on just like streaming. Okay, and then we'll go 2 minutes with Chat GPT, but mostly Tawny this time.
Yes, we get to hear from Chat GPT again.
I did not do a funny version though, because I was like, there was just something about it that was not working.
I thought it was funny. I edited that episode and I really liked listening to it. What did you do? Did you give it a theme at all or just no?
No, I just asked it to give me a 2-minute summary, but like I probably spent the same amount of time that I would have writing it, like correcting it, because it really got it wrong. It was like,
never seen Chat GPT has never seen this movie before.
I guess not, dude. I was like, for Cloverfield, it at least they got something wrong, but it was just like a minor detail that I had to swap. This, like, it said that these guys were the documentary crew who were going in to like figure out like what the house like wanted from them. And I'm like, no, Chat GPT, you're way off here, bro. But then I don't ever use this. So I didn't know how to like make it do it. And so I just fucking corrected it myself. So here we go. Turn back now if you don't want this movie spoiled for you. The film begins with footage from the opening night of the haunted house attraction called Hell House. Hell House. God, I'm going to struggle with this all night. Located in the small town of Abaddon. During the event, chaos ensues and a tragedy occurs. The audience members panic, and a young woman named Sarah disappears. Years later, a documentary team decides to investigate the events of that fateful night, including an exclusive interview with Sarah, who literally just showed back up with some extra footage. Now we get to look back at how the events unfolded. The group of friends and Hell House owners travel to an abandoned hotel and start cleaning up the building. As they explore, they encounter eerie things like Bibles in the basement, but call this a win since some of the work is already done for them. While casting some additional scare actors from the area, it's revealed that a cult led by a sinister figure named Andrew Tully conducted rituals and sacrifices in the hotel. As we get closer to opening night, the crew becomes increasingly terrorized by supernatural entities lurking within the house. They experience strange noises, ghostly apparitions, and are plagued by malevolent forces. With tensions rising and fear taking hold, the team members start to turn on each other. Paul goes missing and another member threatens to leave, but there's some kind of reason why he ultimately decides to stay. On opening night, the team and customers face a nightmarish confrontation with the demonic forces of Hell House. The audience can't leave the basement and panic. Some people make it out, but the haunted house crew all get killed by shrouded figures. Paul shows back up and kills Sarah before slitting his own throat. By this time, part of the documentary crew is in the house at the suggestion of Sarah, and they are also attacked by Sarah and the shrouded figures. The end.
Yeah.
So she was dead.
Yeah, she
was dead the whole time.
It's a chick.
Okay. So Felicia, being a first-time watcher, what did you think about this movie?
So first, I would like to thank everybody for suggesting this movie and participating. I have to say that I feel it was fine. It was fine. Like, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't really scared. So here's what I have to say. I thought the acting was good. So that's good. When I first saw the trailer, I watched the trailer and I thought, oh, this Sarah girl, no. Because they just show her going, I'm disturbed. Here's my tapes. I'm like, she is not disturbed. And I was like, oh, this is going to suck. Sorry, guys. That's what I thought. And then I was watching it, and the more these people were together, I was like, oh, this is good. They have a good chemistry. It feels natural between them. Especially, I wrote a note when they were by the bar before they went live, and they were all by the bar just talking and chatting. I was like, this is really natural. I wonder if this was scripted because it feels really good. That was actually my very first note, was the conversation at the bar felt really real. And there was one reporter, the redheaded gentleman, that I felt delivered very realistically as well. I didn't feel like it seemed
Yeah.
fake. Yeah,
Mhm.
it seemed real. Not the other guy with the mustache. He got a little dramatic. At first, when he started talking, I was like, oh, he's cool. But then he got real dramatic. And I was like, okay. But this is what I think it was. I really do. I loved the clowns. That clown shit was baller. I really love that. But I feel like they did a lot of the same thing over and over and over again. Like someone showing up in Paul's room, someone showing up in Paul's room over and over and over and over again. The couple of clown things was good. I could feel that like that nervous energy when you're going up to touch it to see if it's a human or not. That is nervous. But then like the clowns' heads are moved. The clowns' heads are moved. It was like constant. And then I think when shit was real going down in the basement, this is what I was ready for. I was so excited to see what was going on in the basement. I don't think they showed me enough. Like, I don't want them to show me too much. I totally get it. Just glimpses are good. But really, the only glimpse I got was people in black cloaks. Like, that was it. And so it wasn't scary enough for me. And then at the end, I mean, I thought that was cool. As soon as she said she's in 2C and the woman's like, oh, can you tell the girl in 2C? She goes, oh, we don't have her. I was like, ah, shit, that's a ghost. And so I felt like, okay, like it kind of knew what was going to happen on that point. But yeah, it was good. And I don't want to, like, I really thought about myself. I think with all the true crime and horror that I watch, it's not that I'm desensitized. I don't want to use that word because I do watch true crime and I cry and I'm moved and it's terrible and I'm not desensitized to it, but maybe there's so much things that are so terrifying that maybe it takes more to terrify me, I guess. Yeah. But that's where I'm at. I don't regret watching it. I think that it was fun. I just wish I was more scared.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank God, though, when it started and it shows just the YouTube footage, I said, oh my God, that can't be it. Because that's not scary at all. That YouTube footage, right in the beginning, the YouTube footage, the girl and her boyfriend, or I assume it's her boyfriend, I didn't see, but when they go into the house, right? And people are screaming and things are knocking over.
Oh, beginning.
I was like, oh, please don't let that be it because that was not scary.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, I couldn't remember.
So we're good. Yeah, it's not memorable because it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
But I really thought that was a fun idea too. Ooh, gosh, to do that, to decorate that house and those things are creepy. But yeah.
And I love the idea of something going wrong in a haunted house because like you kind of wouldn't immediately know that something is happening. Like they get down to the basement, and she's like, this is not part of the show. This is not part of the show. And for a little while, people are kind of like,
oh,
we signed up for this. Like,
I said to Steve, I totally would think this was part of the show. And he goes, oh yeah, me too.
100%. But like, I don't know. That doesn't last for very long. So it's not like that's the whole movie. Yeah. Okay.
How about you?
So it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
You were, okay.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Ish good. Fine. Fine-ish good.
Fine-ish good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it more watching it the second time.
Ooh, okay, good.
Because I had already seen it before. I don't remember when. A few years ago, probably. A couple years ago. And this also got overhyped for me, for sure. Like, people online talk about it a lot, especially on the horror subreddit. It comes up a lot. And so I was like, well, shit, I need to check out this movie. Because if I see too much stuff, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I gotta take a little look, see how scary this actually is. And I remember being pretty disappointed. And so like when I thought about this movie, I was like, not, I didn't have like fond memories of it. But then I put it on and I was like, all right, Jade, this is the one that won, so I have to watch it tonight. Do you want to watch it with me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, did you watch it with me the first time? And he said, yeah, I think so. And so we sat down and started watching it. And he was like, I fucking like this movie. So we both watched it a second time. And I feel like my disappointment was like, I don't know. It was less the second time around because as we started watching it, I was like, oh yeah. I started to remember some of the scares that happen. And then I was like really looking forward to seeing them again. And I do think that what is good about this movie, in my opinion, are the few really effective scares because I think they are like far and above the rest of the movie. And like a lot of other movies just don't have like super scary moments like this. But my favorite like things are like the clown stuff, like you were saying. That's a fucking scary clown, dude.
Yeah.
It's very frightening. And then them like moving around in the basement, like the idea of this is pretty scary, but I'm with you on the shrouded figures. I am over it. It's like, I just don't think they're actually that scary. And there wasn't like a whole lot of story told within this about like the background of it. And so it's like a little hard to follow, which I have a tidbit on later. But I felt like you were going to hate it because of the acting. So I was really surprised that you didn't hate that. I agree that it does feel, I didn't like it the first time I watched it. I was getting frustrated with the bad acting. This time around, I think I gave it more leeway because it felt like you're saying natural. Like when you're just talking to your friends, it's not like you have awkward moments, right?
Yeah.
Because you're human beings. And so I felt like more so this time I was like, okay, this just feels more natural than bad acting, but I don't think the acting is great either. Like,
no, it's not great, but
yeah,
it's not like some of the shit we've seen.
Definitely. Yeah. So I feel like for me, it suffers from that, from some of the not super great acting. But yeah, like I liked it. I saw the appeal of it more on this second watch, and they really do a good job of some of these scary moments. So
yeah, I'd like to hear more of these scary moments you really liked, because I like the clown when the clown was standing there and then he went back and his friend is in the room and then he runs back. Or the clown is standing there. It's just that mask is so amazing. It's so scary.
Yeah.
But then like you see like shadows when the camera's going, like you see figures, then you see it a lot. It's like, oh yeah, he's there. Oh, there's something there. Oh, there's something there. Oh, I loved. I would say the clown, my two favorite parts are the clown and the strobe light scene.
Yes. The strobe light scare is a good one.
Yeah. I said, ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah. And I think like what works about this movie is definitely that it is found footage, right? But then you take that found footage and you put it in a haunted house where you have all these like scary things already, like scary people. And so the first time I watched it, I was constantly like freaking myself out because I kept thinking that the figures were like ghosts or whatever, but they weren't most of the time. They were just like props in the thing. So this time around, I was looking more for the actual scary people. And so, but I feel like that's a good first watch experience where you're constantly like, oh, no. Like, oh, no, this is just a prop. But the strobe light for sure was pretty freaky. And then, yeah, definitely the clown. That clown, just the way they execute it, I feel like is well done.
Because even when they're about to touch it, you don't know if there's a person in there or not. You think, oh, maybe there's a person in there just as a viewer. But then it's not. Ooh, it's a really good one.
Ooh, and when they find Sarah, like when they go, I think this is also one of the other clown moments where they see her in the corner and she's all fucking just talking in reverse or whatever. I have a tidbit about that. She, it's a reversed clip of her saying, "When I got to the front door, the police were arriving."
Oh.
And I wondered, like,
because when she was killed by the front door, the police were arriving. Like, she's killed by Paul, and then Paul kills himself right as the police are pounding on the door.
Yeah. Yep. Ooh. So that's like a future thing that is supposed to happen. I have chills talking about it.
Ooh, yeah.
And so I liked that a lot. It didn't feel gimmicky to me. Because it doesn't happen. Like, that is something that only happens once. I mean, she's like weird. She's having weird things throughout the movie. But like that one scare I felt like was really good.
Yeah. And
they were like, "You're okay. Let's just get you back to bed."
Yeah, I agree.
But my favorite scare. Oh, love this scene with Paul in the room when he's like, because they kind of set it up, right? There's like you said, it does happen a few times, but there's like the one time where he's in the room and somebody comes in and he realizes somebody's there, but you don't see it because it's like completely dark. And then they leave and he's like, "That was weird," which I thought was funny. But then later he like wakes up in the middle of the night and he like turns on his light and there's a girl just sitting in his room. This freaks me out, dude. I don't know why. This scare is so effective to me. Did you not find this one scary at all?
No. This is the one I like the least, actually. So
what?
I liked her face. There was something weird.
Yes.
Like you talk about the uncanny valley with her eyes.
Yeah.
Was so when you first see her, and then he hides under the sheets. And so this is, I think, started to throw me off because the room is small. It's like the room I'm in. And there's someone sitting right there. You're going to hide under the sheets. This is bizarre. And then there's just this breathing. And then he lifts it and there's the girl. And so I thought, that was a fail is what I thought.
Interesting. Okay. I love this. I hear what you're saying, and it is weird for him to hide under the sheets, I guess. But like, I think I can forgive it because it's like what you would do as a child. And so I feel like if you were like really scared, you might revert, back to just like hiding however you can. But like the fact that, I mean, just everything about it is scary to me. The fact that she's just been there while he's fucking sleeping, probably, and he doesn't even notice her. Like, and we see her sitting there for a long time. Those are like, my favorite type of scares.
Yeah.
And then he like goes to turn the camera around, and that's when he sees her and freaks out. And then I think the like breathing freak also like puts me in his like point of view. And so I got all like nervous and panicky. And then he like opens the sheets again, and she's like coming at him in the face. Something about, I'm like, why didn't they use this scary girl more throughout the movie? Like, she's definitely to me the scariest thing. The clown is scary, but like, instead of the shrouded figures, do something like this because it's so much scarier.
Yeah, I agree.
God, I love that one. But this is also where I start to fall off during the movie. Like, I was like fine up until this moment. And well, number one, that shit after Sarah, when she's like in the corner speaking in reverse, everybody would be like, we're fucking leaving. We're getting the hell out of here. Like, this is gone beyond. This is way too scary. And then after he goes missing, Paul, after that incident in his bedroom, they never go back to check the footage. And I'm so annoyed. This is what happened on my first watch too. This one thing like caught me, and I like would not I couldn't let it go. And I couldn't do it the second time either. It was so, I could do a better job, but I was so annoyed that they didn't go back and watch. Because your friend is fucking missing. They don't know where he went. And they know that he's shooting everything. Just go fucking look at the cameras. They already did that earlier for the like clown, but it's like they just forgot halfway through the movie that they could go back and look at the footage. Because this happened a few more times after that. I was like, what are you doing?
I totally agree with you. Because even downstairs in the basement with the clowns.
Yeah, turning the heads.
You had it on the footage because we saw it. And they just totally, forgo looking at the footage. And you're like, wait a second. If people are freaking out so much, they were so terrified, you would look at the footage.
Yeah. And like, they don't believe him either, too. They're like, they can't turn their head. And so I would be annoyed as that person. I'd be like, look at the fucking footage. I'm telling you what I saw, like.
What happened? Because I rewound it like 3 times. What happened I think his name was Andrew or their friend Alex. What happened? Why do they have to stay? Because he's like, man, I have to tell you something. And then they're in the field and he's like, man, I have to stay.
Yeah.
Do they say?
Don't. No. Mm-mm.
Why even put that in there though?
Yeah. I think it's just to act as a mechanism to keep them there. Right. Like we have to see this through. But they never explain it. And you just assume that it is like financially motivated. And I did find a piece of trivia that said like later in the because there's 2 more movies. There's a 2 and a 3. And they're in the process of shooting a 4th.
Oh, wow.
Right now. Yeah.
Jeez.
So there are answers. But I don't think it even really gets too far. I think it's just money. Which I don't feel like is too big of a spoiler because you just have to assume that's what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was money or maybe she's pregnant, but it was just they spent so much time on it. And then they started to record again. Because if we're thinking about this as found footage, they turned the recording off, then chose to record him going, oh, I can't leave. You should have told me. And then stopped recording. And I was like, that's odd. Maybe
it's weird.
Do that in a different.
Yeah, it's like they did too much. If you were gonna like not give us an answer at all, like just cut it. Why? Yeah, we don't need that second shot of him dealing with it you just pick back up.
Because obviously he's still there and he hasn't left. So it must have
Right.
been something, but we don't know what.
Yeah, some kind of comment, he could even make. Like, I'm mad about this, but I'm seeing it through,
Yeah, exactly.
something. Yeah. I don't like that part either, but I do have kind of a note on this. So I read in an interview with the director, he was talking about like the story of this. And so this is a quote from him. He says, "Because in found footage, you can't justify cameras being in certain places. And that's why I couldn't tell the full narrative that I wanted to in the original Hell House. And a lot of it being that the history of the original Abaddon Hotel and things to come in the future and lots of foreshadowing elements and losing all those story elements when we committed to found footage. I said to myself, well, maybe I can revisit those lost story elements in another film or two if I ever get the chance. More jokingly, because I never thought I'd get the chance to do it, so the story was there. I never really thought it was going to happen, but I'm really happy that I was able to tell the full story and get it out there." So there is more. And I kind of was like, I want to know about like the history of this place, right? Like,
Yeah.
What's interesting is like after we watched this, we were like, cool. Jade likes it, I think, more than me, this movie. And he was like, I'd be interested to watch the next couple. So we actually just like threw on to the second one before recording, and we only got like halfway through. But I don't think it's worth watching because it's like pretty fucking bad. It's like the acting gets worse.
Oh, no.
And the plots of 2 and 3 are just more people going to the house in the future. And so I'm like, if we're going to do a sequel, I'd rather have like a prequel. I don't want to watch the same thing over and over again because we're going to keep having these groups of people go to this hotel and die or go missing, and it's like, been there, done that in the first movie. Let's go backwards. So this new one that they're making, it is called Hell House LLC Origins, The Carmichael Manor. And that will be coming to Shudder in the fall of this year. So I'm like interested in that. I wonder if that is, better, gives a little bit of information, but.
Yeah, I hope so. It's hard. When I was watching this, I even mentioned to Steve, I was like, I'm in for a cult. But this whole sacrificial cult is kind of boring to me. When we're talking real cults that exist today, religious cults or whatever, usually they're religious, I suppose. That's very scary. This whole idea of, brainwashing someone to be too fearful to make a move for themselves and to like rescue themselves from the situation. It's very, very scary. But this whole, I'm going to wear a cloak, maybe I'll wear a goat mask and I'll sacrifice people. This is just not scary to me at all.
I agree. It's like very overdone.
Yeah, if you're going to make it old school pagan stuff, like I'm sorry, pagans. Pagans are not all about sacrifice. I apologize.
Right.
But if you're going to make it some like old school negative earth magic sacrificial stuff that, we couldn't even imagine, that's scary stuff. Like I'm thinking of some movies that have that element and that's really freaky. Oh, even Midsommar is like that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like, it's just rooted in these really old warped beliefs, but just like, I don't know, those guys in the cloaks and this just was not scary.
Yeah, it's like really just paint by the numbers kind of satanic cult, right?
Yeah,
because
Bibles,
it's like
pentagram, black cloak.
Exactly, yes.
Boo.
I was about to say the same thing. Boo.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing is, too, that I don't understand that maybe is explained in the sequels is like, you have that element, right? But then we also have these other elements that just don't like seem to go along with the satanic cult thing. Like you have the girl in the room, you have the like clowns being kind of animated. And then the scare in the strobe scare in the hallway is like a different looking scary guy. So it's like, what is going on? Is this all like different spirits in this house or in this hotel? Is it like maybe it's one of those where there's so many deaths or, things? Because also there's that guy who hung himself in the dining room, but it's like hard to kind of keep track even of like all of those.
Wasn't the guy who hung himself in the dining room the head cult dude that bought the hotel to do cult shit in the basement?
Oh yeah, maybe he was.
Is that right? I don't know.
I don't remember.
And then he ended up hanging himself.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, again, like getting halfway through the second movie, I can tell you there's no more answers except for the financial answer of why Alex.
Oh, okay.
But it's way overdone. I wish they wouldn't have even. It's like he's having like a whole. I mean, spoilers for the second one, but it really doesn't matter. He's having like a whole conversation with somebody off camera about like losing all of his money and how they're gonna have to start over. It's just like, I get it. I got it. Like, I didn't need all of this.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, you would doubt yourself that stuff was happening, or are your friends screwing with you?
Yeah, definitely. But like, when they were like, oh yeah, they were like, oh, Paul's fucking with us or something. I was like, I don't buy that, because these guys they haven't played pranks on each other yet that we've seen. Yeah. So like they didn't set that up. And then why would your friend just like be missing?
Yeah, and they were like, he bailed before, remember? He bailed for like several years ago for a couple of days, he bailed. But like,
I was not, I didn't think it was like,
I wanted something so horrific in the basement.
Me too.
Just like, I guess, like, can't even tell what that guy did. He grabs the girl, and I'm assuming he kills her, and people start freaking out. But like, I don't know. I can't even imagine what it would be, but that's what I wanted. I wanted that.
Me too. I agree. And we never learn anything. Like, some people go missing. Some people, I guess, are dead, but we never really like learn the manner of death. Like, what happened? There's a little bit of blood on the stairs, but like, what the fuck happened?
I was just gonna say, there wasn't that much blood in the house.
No, there wasn't.
Sorry.
No. I think they might have just disappeared, though, because I do have this other tidbit. It says, at the beginning of the film, in the 911 call, you hear a woman frantically calling the police. And when they ask what's going on, the woman is muffled, and you can hear her say, they are into the wall. If you listen really, really close, you can hear she's saying, they're pulling us into the wall, which hints that Andrew Tully's portal to hell came to fruition. It also explains the creepy outlines of faces and hands that are seen inside the wall while the crew is trying to get out of the house near the end of the movie, which I don't remember.
I don't remember that either. And that gave me a little bit of cold chill. Like, that done well might be really cool in the basement, where these hands are grabbing you into the wall. I mean, it'd have to be done really well.
Yeah.
But that seems creepy versus these hooded figures.
Yes, I agree. Because it is like like you said, he just grabs her and she like levitates a little bit. I think that's it. That's like, that's all.
And is he lifting her versus levitating? You know what I mean? Like, it's.
Yeah, and it would never be scary enough to make people panic the way that they did.
They were like freaking out. They were stompling.
Trampling.
They were trampling each other to get out. Just horrific screams.
Yeah. And it is kind of anticlimactic. You're like,
yeah. I was so waiting. I was like, that's all I want to know is what is in the basement.
Yeah. That's why I want a fucking prequel. I'm like, give me the scary shit.
Yes.
The setup for it, and make it not such a basic cult. Like, we could get the backstory, flesh out this cult a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I did like the little pieces where we saw from the YouTube video in the very beginning, and then you saw behind the scenes. So like when Sarah runs and the girl goes, I don't think that's supposed to happen. Is that supposed to happen? And so we see what prompted that in behind the scenes. And I did like that element of it.
Yeah.
But even towards the end, when we're going and we see, oh, there's Paul in the corner of the bar, and then it pans and we pan back. Paul's not there. I mean, we've done this like 30 times now in this movie. So
yeah.
And then Paul kills her, like, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like disagree with you. There is something about this movie that doesn't quite hit for me the way that it does for other people. You know, I mean, it won pretty overwhelmingly in our poll. I think people really enjoy this. And I liked it better the second watch, but there's something about it that just doesn't quite click. And that second movie, dude, is getting so much worse. Jay and I are going to finish it just to see it through, you know?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, don't recommend watching that. I do have a note about the actual location. So it was shot in a real haunted house called The Haunting at the Waldorf Hotel.
Oh.
And so that haunt did take over an abandoned hotel, just like in the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
It's in Pennsylvania.
I will never, ever, 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 ever go. That's
Same.
very cool.
Nope, won't be doing that. The other couple pieces of trivia I had, I thought this was funny. Actually, let me set this up because you said that they had like really good chemistry and they made sense as people. I did like watch an interview with the director and he was saying that they did get along really well, the people, and they became friends and they like still stay in contact with each other and stuff. So they would like hang out. And one night they hung out and were drinking. He was a little hungover. And when he had to do, it was Paul, when he had to do the strobe light scare, you remember that he like ran and jumped over the bar and then threw up? That was real.
Because he was hungover?
Yeah, because he was hungover.
Oh, no, this is me if I got too drunk the night before and I had to work the next day.
I know. It sucks. But he was like, yeah, he was really trying to hold it together and he like hopped over that bar a couple times and did okay. But it was that third time when he hopped over that bar and just did it in.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, this one piece. And I put in my notes, more of that. More of this. I'm not sure what I saw. Did I see what I saw? This uncanny. And it was, okay, so they were in the hallway looking for Paul. I don't even know if I saw this wrong. They were looking for Paul when he first went missing. They were in the hallway and they ran by this masked, one of the masked guys, right? And he has the camera in front and he goes to look behind him and then goes back very fast. This one white face, I swear to God, it looked like his eyes was like human eyes in there that looked at him. It was so fast. So I rewound it like 3 times. And each time it gave me cold chills. Like, I think that fucking guy looked at him, but it was so fast. And then that was it. Like, that is some scary shit like that.
Yeah.
Uncanny. Even that girl, like I thought the girl had a really freaky face. Maybe if he looked again and she wasn't there and then she was behind him. So here's the thing. I said this to Steve as well. I said, you know, I know some people are like, oh, I hate jump scares, you know, because they're cheap and whatever. I felt like maybe I needed more of those jump scares in this movie. Maybe I needed a little bit more. It's not there. Fuck, it's there. Like, you know, just a few more times. Like, especially with that girl, because I thought she had a creepy face.
Yeah, she was really scary. And I feel like I felt the opposite, actually. And I think that's why that scare works for me, is because I think I expected her to not be there.
Oh.
So like, I'm just waiting and waiting because again, they do kind of do this a few times throughout the movie where you see it and then they go back and it's gone. Right. So I was like pretty sure that she wasn't going to be there, but then she was, and that was fucking scary. So I think that's why it worked for me.
Because I was 100% she's going to be there.
Okay.
In behind these sheets. And so that's why it didn't work for me. So that's cool.
Ooh.
Maybe if she wasn't there though, then you would have been like, oh, okay, she wasn't there. She's there. Like some other there. I don't know.
That would have been a pretty typical jump scare.
Could have helped us all.
He did mention that this movie, he wanted to keep the vibe, is the subtle scare, because he was like, yeah, I like that. That's my favorite type of scare. And he specifically mentions the strangers. And he's like, that is such an iconic scare. And so that's really what I tried to keep going in this. He was like, the sequels, 2 and 3, there are more jump scares. He's like, but I really like, there really is not any of that in the first movie, which I enjoyed. I like that. I think it sets up a better atmosphere of tension too for me. But God, what else was it? Oh, there was another one too where somebody's standing in a corner where they sweep the camera over, and like no one stops and says anything about it. And so it's like one of those that you'd probably miss, maybe. Jade missed it. I had to rewind and show him, and he was like, ugh. So
it's like the guy in the plaid shirt that was like, it looked like plaid for a second. It was like a man, or it looked like a big, it looked like a big man. And in the doorway. And I think it was when the journalist went back to the house and they were going through the house. There was like this man figure but they don't talk about it at all. They don't notice it. Just sweeps in the camera. Maybe not. Maybe that's not what it is.
Maybe we're talking about the same one. I don't remember seeing like plaid, but
I thought he was wearing flannel.
Maybe. The one I'm thinking of, they're like almost completely dark, but you can see arms. Like, yeah. It's like somebody's wearing like a short sleeve shirt or something.
And he looks big. In the hall, he takes up the frame, and it was very Leatherface-esque to me. I think that's why I thought flannel.
Okay,
just like whatever, just like some country guys ready to hack.
I like that part of these movies, and I wonder if there's ones that we didn't even catch because again, there's all these like dummies that are supposed to be there, and so sometimes you don't know if it's supposed to be scary or if it's supposed to be just a prop within the context of the movie. But one thing while we're talking about this, because I keep forgetting that the fucking like journalist goes in there, the person conducting the interview with Sarah, and I fucking hate this part. Like this part is so annoying to me because the way that she's acting is so crazy, just in a way that I'm like, I cannot buy this at all. She's like gleeful in there, just like, oh, look over here, look at this, look at I'm like, you're not scared at all. Like, come on. Dude, I don't buy it.
Yeah, I totally agree because here's the thing. In this moment, I just hate her. Because either she's really like that and she's fucking trash and I don't care that she dies. I know this seems extreme, you guys. There was literally people's human blood soaked and streaking. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine going to a crime scene and seeing there's no bodies, but the ground and the walls are soaked in blood? You know that people were killed here and they were grabbing onto the walls. And she's like, oh my God, this is where, and just kind of steps over the blood-soaked floor. And look at this. Ew, spooky. Are you fucking kidding me? You are a sociopath. If you were not having some type of emotion in this house with all this blood and all this shit that was everywhere.
And it's also like, why, dude? Like, I don't understand the motivation for this at all. She's like, we just have to go in there. And then she's like, we just have to go down to the basement. Like, we have to. I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense.
And she's not scared at all. Come on. You would be a normal person, would be at least slightly creeped out. You know, even
you'd be on edge.
Don't believe in ghosts or anything like that. There was a murder that happened here, and there's still physical, like evidence or of a murder, like the blood and stuff like that. It's still here. It's not like it was cleaned up crime scene.
Yeah,
I'm so glad she died. So dumb. She was.
Yeah, I was like,
so
take
dumb.
him out.
Yeah,
who cares?
Get him, Sarah.
Yeah, I was like, whatever, dude. She's like, 2C, we have to go in there.
Yeah,
like,
please
fucking do you?
Yeah.
Because please do.
Please
you do,
do.
Actually.
Yeah, you do, actually.
I would prefer it.
Stupid. Yeah, that I didn't enjoy
Stop
that
going
at
to
all.
this fucking house. Stop it.
I think you would go. I mean, I think there are people that would still go.
Oh, for sure. I think there are people that would go too, but they're not setting up enough of a motivation for these people to go.
No, and maybe if she acted a little more, I don't know who you are, but maybe this is one of your first movies, maybe not, but maybe if you acted a little more and it was more of like, I'm trying to pretend that I'm chill with this, but have a little more. I think I even said to Steve, I was like, this woman's a bitch. Like the way she's walking around and people were murdered here. How disrespectful. I was like really offended by this.
Yeah. Yes. It was disrespectful. And also like, it's just no regard for your own like she's like not even careful about like, what if I could trip over something that would hurt me or something, you know, like none of that exists. It's just, but it just, I don't know. It just didn't seem consistent. And we don't get a lot of her character because she's just asking questions behind a camera, but it just like, I couldn't reconcile it. I was like, annoyed.
Thank goodness we don't get a lot of her character. Thank you.
I think that's all I got.
I think that's all I got too.
Okay.
That is all I got. So just so everybody knows, because I know that I kind of shit on it a lot. I didn't enjoy the experience. I had a good time. There wasn't any part of it, honestly, that I thought, oh God, this is dragging. When is this over? No, not at all. I think I just really was hoping by the way people were so excited about it, that it was going to scare me. That's all. I'm just looking for that. I just want to be scared. I want to be scared to go to bed at night. And it just wasn't there for me. Yeah.
Sad. Although I do think that there were good scares in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. All right.
So at least there's that.
Yeah, at least there's that. I just feel like the last half of this, I repeat everything you say. I apologize.
No, you're good. Okay, you ready to rate it?
Yeah, so I'm ready. I just want to do a disclaimer that I really love doing this podcast, and I hope people don't hate me after this. But I'm going to rate this movie a 2.8. Okay. And that's what I rated Evil Dead Rise. And so, yes. So I feel good with this. I'm sorry. I looked at Noroi. I think I did find it scarier than that, for sure. Yeah. But there's others that I have higher, like 3. I couldn't go a 3 or above for this movie. So 2.8.
Okay. I think I am going to go a 3.25.
Ooh, nice score.
Yeah. It's not like super high, but I also feel good about this because, again, I liked it better on my second watch. And I do think that I really think these effective scares save this movie for me and make it worth watching. Like, I forgot. And then when I sat down, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get to watch, these couple of scenes that were really scary. And I was excited about that. So at least there's that for me. But the acting was not great to me. And some of the choices made just were getting on my fucking nerves towards the end, especially. I'm like, look at the footage. Give a shit about your friends. Leave the fucking hotel. Who cares about money, dude? Like, come on. It's not worth your life.
Yeah.
And then this fucking interviewer going in there. I'm like, okay, we've lost it here. We've totally lost what's happening. But I still liked it. Mm-hmm. And I also hope that people don't hate me for that. No, but I don't think they will.
They're going to like you more than they like me.
This is the middle of the road. We definitely didn't hate this. And
no,
it isn't.
I didn't hate it.
It doesn't drag, in my opinion. I feel like it's a pretty tight movie. So that's nice.
I didn't feel at any moment that, I wish this was over. Didn't feel like it dragged at all.
Yeah.
Just, And we don't know what we're watching next. God, I want to be scared.
Me too. I know we talked about keeping the found footage, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about our game plan after we stop recording. But I kind of, I'm like, do we switch it up? Do we switch it up and try to do something really scary?
Yes. Okay, yes. So I was like balls to the wall. All summer found footage. Let's do this. Yeah. So one of the found footage that I can say we really liked, because if you listen to the Horror Project podcast, we were on their podcast doing Paranormal Activity, and we really enjoyed that movie. But I feel like we just did that. So I don't know if I want to watch it again, but we didn't. We did it a while ago.
No, it was maybe a year ago.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Because I feel very fresh in my mind. But anyways, and I thought things like, we've been waiting forever to do Blair Witch Project and like all of these different things. But now I'm like, is there really one that's very, very scary? And I'm losing hope. So I don't know if we should switch it up because I want to be scared.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I also have a bunch of found footage that I want to watch, but just because I like them and I want you to watch them, not because I think they are actually scary. You know what I mean? So I agree. I feel the same way. It's like, I do want to come back to this found footage because I think there's so many movies that we still have yet to talk about that are good. And we love this subgenre, but we want to be scared. And I was also thinking, like, do we treat our, anniversary next month, July? Do we do like an anniversary special where we just pick what we want to watch again?
Yeah.
We suck at sticking with themes.
That might be what we need to do. People are like, you're not doing Blair Witch Project. We will.
Oh yeah.
At some point.
We have to.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it. I'm not opposed to doing it. I'm actually looking forward to it. I only saw it once when it came out.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to revisit. But I don't know. So that's that. Be on the lookout to see what we decide to do next. And if you enjoy us, we enjoy you too, please do follow us on Instagram at twochicksandahorrorflick, or you can go to your favorite social media platform and look for Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, and we will be there. What else, Tawny?
You can support the show by giving us a like, review, and subscribe on whatever podcast you're listening to us on. That's it. We hope you have such a good night. No nightmares.